Yo, and we should be live here. Yeah, it looks like we're live. So, in this, I'm just going to be talking about some of the latest Starfield information. No spoilers or anything. I'm not going to be talking about the leaks, just straight Bethesda stuff that they've put out. Mainly the live action trailer, because I think there's some hidden details in there that we'll get into. And then we are going to be talking about some Call of Duty stuff. And I think I may have been wrong. I said it on a couple shows talking about the open campaign. I think I was wrong. There was some more information today that there's another way I'm taking that now, so we'll get into that later. First is going to be Starfield, and then shout out to chat. We got 3-Bit popping in here, and Poisoned and Mab from Fun Speculation. So thank you all for stopping by. Um, so with the Starfield thing, I'm just going to let the trailer play once for those that haven't seen it, if anyone's stopping by or coming in late. I got it muted because there's music, so we'll just listen to me talk, I guess. But there's hidden details in here that I'm going to point out. Jasper, it's your mother. You're not my mother. uh, anyway, so we'll get into this here. So the first thing coming up is it could just be like a little a theory of mine or not. It could just be something that they put in here that's kind of cool. I'll pause it. We'll do pauses. It should be right after the combat section here when they're flying into the planet. They see a structure on the planet, and I'll point it out when they get there. But it takes them a little minute to fly. So right here, this structure on the planet, this is just a crazy theory that I have. It could be just out there, it could just be them making a cool geological feature on a planet or whatever. But on Earth, we have this same feature, and let me pull it up in a separate tab here. Um, it's called the Eye of the Sahara. And now this is like somewhat conspiracy theory, but if they like when if Bethesda kind of leans into that, what they can get is the Eye of the Sahara. People theorize that it could be Atlantis, the lost city of Atlantis that people know of. Let me pull up some photos here. So this is what it looks like on Earth. It's just in the middle of the African Sahara Desert. People think that that could be Atlantis. So if Bethesda leans into that, maybe there was an ancient alien structure always on Earth or something like that. I don't know. That's just a crazy theory, but it's weird that they put that in the live action trailer, and this isn't Earth. So how did that same kind of feature get on another planet? Uh, your guess is as good as mine. Like I said, it could just be a cool geological formation that they saw on Earth and was like, let's put that on some planets. But that could just be a little deep, a little speculation. We got some little alien pterodactyls. That's kind of cool. And then you saw that there was sand moving. So there could be an artifact under there. Let's see if I can't back it up. See, like right at the top here, you see the sand is just kind of like moving like water, and then it floats. So there's some type of gravity or anti-gravity effect there, and then it leads into underground crystals. So that's kind of weird. And then you also see the crystals floating. So is all of that on the same structure? Like underneath that circular structure on that planet? I don't know. And then his watch says alert. If you flip the screen upside down, you can see it. That's about it really for the live action trailer. I think it just kind of ends here with like inspirational stuff, like kid looking up at the stars or whatever. Yeah, it's in Starfield or whatever. So that's it for that. Next, I wanted to talk about the lore that they kind of put out. This was like last week or 2 weeks ago or something like that. I just kind of wanted to go over this and just do initial talk on this. I haven't really thought about this too much, but I just kind of wanted to go over it. Yeah, law inspirational shit. Yeah, I mean that's what it was. It kind of like that inspirational shit. Like it's cool at the same time, but it's like right in front of your face. So like I don't care about it. When they put it right in your face, I don't like it. So, but that's just me. I want it to be more hidden. Yeah, kids looking up at the stars and shit. It's inspirational. It's like it's too fake. They need to hide that better. That's my problem with that. Anyway, humans arrive on Mars on Earth. They've been on Earth. Immediately, I got the 4 words in. I got it wrong, so this is gonna be off to a strong start here. uh, by oh my god, I can't even fucking read. Humans arrive on Mars by the year 2100. Humans are living in space. Humans arrive in Alpha Centauri, 4.3 light years away, so they got that right. 2100, so about that's 80 something years in the future, 87 years in the future. That's pretty cool, I guess. On Mars, United Colonies. How's it going, RSJ? United Colonies established in 2159. Oh, so 2050 humans arrive. Oh, I guess that's just a countdown. Yeah. Okay, I see how they're doing it. 2156 humans arrive in Alpha Centauri, so it took them 56 additional years to get to Alpha Centauri. Interesting. 77. Man, I'm. It's late. I can't do numbers. I can't read. You just gonna have to go with it, Mav. New Atlantis is founded and becomes official capital of the city of United Colonies in 2161. This is, I believe, on Alpha Centauri. This is where New Atlantis is. And again, New Atlantis, and then that structure we just saw in that video, people theorize that that could be Atlantis. I'm not saying they looked at it, but they may have looked at it. That's all I'm saying. Cheyenne is settled by the Solomon Coe, who founded the first settlement of the Akala city. Don't know too much about this, but I think that Solomon Coe comes up again in the future. Coe invites Volley or whatever to join the Cheyenne in the new alliance. The Freestar Collective is officially formed in 2189. The Freestar in the United Colonies, it goes into a bit more here in the future, but they had a massive war. I think it's called like the Colony Wars. United Colonies positioned in the stars or space station called the Clinic in orbit around Depla and the Narian system. I'm not gonna read all that. It's a little bit boring. Uh, okay, yeah, I guess I will read that. They expand the borders and the UNSC's bans and remove the clinic. Use people in Nari vote. Freestar Collective to mobilize and protect the system 2159. How's it going, Chris Jones? And I think I said RSJ fan, but if I didn't, how's it going, RSJ? In response, the Freestar mobilized and the UC moves its fleet to the Narian system, and the Freestar responds in kind, and the Narian War begins. This is 2196, and I think Starfield the game takes place in like 2300 around there. So let's see, is stay at the bottom here. Yeah, so it takes place after that. So 2329 maybe, 2330. We were 2116. So we're like 100 years before the events of the game. So they got a large backstory already kind of flushed out here, it seems, from Bethesda. The Narian War drags on and the public sentiment sours. Finally, the Treaty of the Narian is signed, the UC and the Freestar Collective in 2166, ending the conflict. Terms are settled. System is formalized in the treaty. The Freestar Rangers form an elite protective and investigative force dedicated to serving all citizens of the Freestar Collective. So the Freestar Rangers, that's interesting. That could be kind of like the Brotherhood of Steel or something like that, or maybe like the Minutemen from Fallout. It's like that side organization. It's not the main two factions, but kind of one of the separate paths you can kind of go down. You're like a kind of a rogue player or whatever. Be interesting if they're still around. Oh, okay. So Mav says that's the cowboy guys in the trailer. So, that's cool if they're still around, I guess. The constellation is formed by Sebastian Banks, Origin members. It just goes into people's names, youngest member. Yeah, it just gives you the backstories and the names of the new people. A lodge is built on New Atlantis to serve the needs of the people and the constellation for generations to come. So the constellation, I think, is the main group that you kind of start the game as or join or whatever, or at least want you to join. Barrett joins the constellation. Three-star collective begin farming on a planet in the Lunare system. By 2338, the United Colonies claim establishing colony in the four-star system. Three-star collective has violated the Treaty of Narian. Diplomat talks break down. The UC lays siege to Vesta, killing everyone who stayed behind or brought in, or who was brought in to defend the colony. To defend it, the colony war has officially begun. So that's 2307. So that's about 30 years, 25 years before the game takes place. So we may be starting this game. Well, I guess we kind of are. It's not maybe, we are. We're starting this game right after a major war in space. That's going to be interesting to see how the tension between the factions kind of play out. I'm thinking that could be like a major kind of conflict in the game where you're deciding if you want to help the Free Star or not help the Free Star, help the Constellation, help the UC, and you kind of weave your way through that. You may have to go into Free Star Collective space or UC space, and depending on how you're allied with them or not, that could affect how you do those missions. So, yeah, and if it's right at the end of the war, I'm assuming the tensions are still going to be there. So maybe if you are wearing Free Star gear or United Colonies gear, if you walk into one of their spaces and you're wearing that gear, maybe they just like shoot on sight and they don't even question it. Be interesting to see if it's that tense or not still. Constellation comes in possession of the first artifact in 2310. So that's only about 20 years before the game, and they're just now finding the artifacts and tucks it away in the Constellation archives. I think that's how you find out you have powers, though, is touching an artifact. So that's interesting. Maybe you find like the next artifact or something. After several years of conflict, the colony war effectively comes to an end, and that's 2311. I mean, that wasn't a long war, only 5 years or so. Comes to an end with the Battle of Cheyenne as the flotilla of civil and military Free Star Collective ships takes down the major ships of UC Navy in a hit-and-run tactics. So it sounds like the Free Star may have won that war, or at least won the battles. UC Vanguard is founded as part of the UC response to the UC or to the Free Star Collective use of civilian ships during the Colony War. The Vanguard UC's own civilian ships rely on civilians using their own ships who pledge to protect the United Colonies. So that's interesting because I don't think, are flying a military ship. You may be able to buy one or steal one or find one. But from all the promotional material and trailers, it seems like you are using a civilian ship with weapons on it. It'd be interesting to see if you can actually get military ships and like how their capabilities are compared to the civilian ones. Like, do they have bigger guns? Are they faster? Do they have more shields? Huh. Be interesting to see how that plays out. How much longer is this? 2319. Okay, we got just a little bit left. Sarah Morgan becomes the head of UC. Navigator Corps' short-lived position as division is shut down in 2320. Morgan joins Constellation after that. Walter Shroud, co-founder of Shroud Eclude, whatever, one of the settled systems premier starship manufacturers, joins. So the major, or one of the major starship builders joins the Constellations and becomes its primary financial backer. So I'm wondering if that's who we get our ship from, is this dude. And if can we only use his ship types? Do we get a discount on his ships? Former Crimson Fleet pirate Vladimir Stahl joins the constellation, so we get pirate intel maybe from that guy. That could be interesting. He could be our gateway into some of those factions for the pirates. Maybe he's like a kind of your in if you want to kind of go that pirate route. Sarah Morgan becomes the chair of the constellation, acting chair. That's not that important, I don't guess. I don't know what that's supposed to mean for this game. Theologian Matteo, I'm butchering that name, joins Constellation. That's cool. Barrett finds the original artifact in the Constellation archives. And knows it must be special. Okay, so Barrett could be that old dude that I made a video on it maybe a couple months ago at this point. He's like an old dude and he's like standing by what are they? I'm blanking on names. Not Japanese, the Chinese terracotta statue warriors. And he's like collecting old Earth artifacts, it seems like. So he could be that that old dude that has those artifacts next to him. And that in the trailer, it looked like it had the ring in front of him too, that broken ring. So that's probably him, I would guess. After months of corresponding, Sarah Morgan graduate suits gift a special novel. Special gifted scientist Noel is invited to join the constellation. Three-star ranger Sam Coe and his daughter join the constellation. Okay, these people are just joining. Barrett convinced the constellation to purchase station L868 and modify to become a deep space scanner, nicknamed the Eye. That's that space station we saw in like the very first trailer, I'm pretty sure. Deep space scanning. Huh. That's interesting. So it seems like the Barrett dude, since he back at the top, it said he knows it must be special, the artifact. So he probably knows something that we don't, and he's not telling us, at least right at the start. And he's created this, he's convinced everyone to make this deep space scanner to scan for additional artifacts. Or maybe an energy signature or something, because I'm pretty sure this is when you touch the artifact, that's how you find out you have powers. And maybe there's some kind of energy signal that he detects that's like, oh, we found another artifact, and then he recruits you. That's that's just Starfield talk right now. 2328. Pretty sure the game takes place shortly after this, at least. So is there anything else I'm missing that I wanted to talk about with Starfield wise? I don't think so as of now. Yeah, 2330, that's what I was thinking. It's 2 years after that, I would guess. So I guess we can move on to Call of Duty stuff. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't think I have any more Starfield stuff to talk about. If there is, bring it up chat and I'll talk about it, but I don't know if there's music in this Call of Duty trailer. I don't think there is. Is this the interview one? Yeah, this is the interview one. So I can give a little sound here. Let me unmute my desktop audio.
Switch for the first time.
Oh, I gotta change my sound. Oh, my headset never connected. That's awesome. Well, while my headset's connecting, so with Call of Duty, they made another video today about an Intel drop talking about the open combat missions. I was thinking about this last night after our Gamescom show, and I think I went a little hard in the wrong direction with the way I think it was going to play out. After the show the other day, I started thinking about it a little more, and I was like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Allows players the choice of how to complete
so we'll talk about it after this video plays.
Preferred playstyle. Open combat missions are part of the campaign.
Okay, I'll pause it and we'll talk about it because this is important. So this is Dam from the first Warzone map, and this is an they're open combat missions, and if they do go this route, I'm so not a fan of it because Call of Duty never does open world good. That's why I'm not excited about the new zombies. So this is the open world combat mission, and well, once my job isn't working me to death, then I can do more. Oh, okay, you're talking about that. So this is Verdansk. This is the dam location. It was at the top right of the Verdansk Warzone map. They're redoing it. See, here's the little building. There's the bridge, and then he's jumping off the dam. You get a shot. Let me slow down the video to 25% here.
Open.
As it plays, he looks up slightly, I think when his parachute pops here. And you can see the Verdansk like skyline in the back. Oh, maybe not in that. There was a shot on Twitter someone took a picture of. But it's there. Trust me, it's Verdansk. That's then
But
the
you
open
get to play them in the way
this
that
guy
you
talk.
want to play them. Those who like stealth gameplay can play it stealthily. Those who like to snipe, or if you like vehicles, or if you like
Let's back up here. Here's the flight tower, it appears to be, from the Verdansk airport. Could be something else, but seeming like that's that. And in the backs, there's a cargo dock. So now that wasn't in the original Verdansk. They could just be reusing the docks part from the Blackout map, which would be interesting.
or if you like vehicles, or if you like to go guns and blazing, all of those options are supported and afforded to you as a player.
This isn't just some additional mode that lives alongside the campaign. This is intertwined with the story, and we've intentionally dispersed these throughout the campaign.
When the player starts the mission, they are given a loadout. But as they go through and play, they'll be encountering new weapons, tacticals, loot crates, and these are all added to your arsenal. Players can change it up. Play the mission now with suppressed weapons and sneak around. Or strap on armor plates and run in loud, get right into the action. Enemies are now adapting and adjusting to your playstyle.
So he said enemies are adapting and adjusting your playstyle. The one thing Call of Duty's never done good at is AI against enemies. Their enemy AI has always been either they have God mode aim or they miss you 90% of the time. It's there's no middle ground with Call of Duty AI. That's one reason why open world never works for Call of Duty is because the AI is just garbage. And a lot of it's just open, empty space. Like if you go back to, I think with this open world concept that they're doing here, if you ever played Spec Ops from MW2 2019, the Spec Ops missions took place on the Warzone map, and you just went to building. You would stand by an objective, you would do something, and you would leave, and like you gather some intel, and that's pretty much it. The open world mission design has never worked for Call of Duty. They could do it this time. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But every time they've tried open world design, it's always been boring. It's been cool for like the first hour, and after you've played it, it's just, why are we doing this? If you go back to Outbreak was cool for a little bit, but once you experienced it, it just sucked. It just became quickly repetitive and boring. Now, the zombie players, at least for me, I always like the smaller, more focused maps. And if you want to do the Easter egg, that's cool. If you just want to grind out zombie kills, that's cool too. And I felt like that worked. But when zombies just appear out of the ground and don't come from windows, it breaks zombies. So the open world design also breaks zombies, and we'll get into that here in a minute too. They don't talk about zombies, but
Open combat missions
There's more
have
information
a
about it.
decent amount of replayability aspect to them. And when I say that, it's less about go through the entire game and start over and play it a second time. It's more about within each mission, trying to experience it in different ways. In one level, we start
okay,
on
yeah.
top
See, at the top of the shot there, you can see like the Verdansk skyline. So they're remaking the Warzone 1 map, at least part of it.
of a catwalk overlooking the entire level. Hopefully by that point in the game, the player has gotten to a point where they can figure out how to start picking it apart. So player empowerment is a huge part of that level. You may even decide, to challenge yourself on some of these, like what's the fastest I can do this, or can I just bring a knife to a gunfight, and really kind of push the bounds on what you can bring as a player.
These are the type of campaign missions that we've always wanted to create, and we just can't wait to get them into the hands of the players.
Okay, so that's the Call of Duty stuff, at least the campaign side of it. Going back to it, I kind of, everyone was saying it was DLC like last week or whatever, and I was saying it before that, and then Call of Duty came out and was like, no, this is a full game. They were making a campaign and zombies. It's like, maybe they weren't lying. Maybe it's not actually DLC. And I kind of pushed back a little bit on that with some people. This open world design makes me think it's straight DLC. They're redoing the Verdansk map from Call of Duty MW219. They're putting it in the game. This way they don't have to make as many single player linear experiences on original maps. This is fucking straight DLC. This is the easiest way they could pump out content in a short time, is reuse the original big map and just scatter objectives across it. You can't tell me any other way that that's not just lazy content design and stuff. Sure, it may not be lazy, they could have been rushed, whatever, but it's still shit. Like, that's why the open world stuff that they've been pushing lately has just dropped my excitement for the game. Going back to pull that over here. I don't want to think anything private. I had Charlie Intel pulled up on Twitter. That's why Twitter is up. I was gonna break down some information. With the zombie stuff, it's cool. Like, it could be cool that they have 24 players or whatever it was, like, in zombies. And they're pushing, like, they're continuing the zombie storyline, but I don't really care about the zombie storyline. Zombies is whatever. Like, it may be fun to have more people with 24 people in zombies, but it's just gonna feel like DMZ or a shittier DMZ. It's not gonna be good. Let's pull Charlie Intel up over here. We'll scroll through some of his tweets because he's got like all the Call of Duty stuff. Verdansk is only confirmed to be returning to Warzone Mobile. They've said that that's the only confirmed thing. Breaks their pattern this year to finish off the deal with Sony, turning it into expansion, which was originally rumored. Yeah. I mean, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I really shouldn't have, but I think that's probably what it is at the end of the day, or at least just them trying to finish off whatever they had planned with Sony so they can get to their new games as a service model. So there's a UI loadouts, says 32 to be discovered or whatever that's supposed to mean. I don't see where these, items discovered over there. I don't know if that's on the screen. Yeah, you can't see that. Right at the above there, it says loadout. Was Sony a year thing or a release thing? Was Sony a year thing or a release thing? What does that mean? 3-bit. The original the Sony deal was a per game basis. They signed like a contract for so many games. So technically it could be like any year, I think. They just had to put, like, if they put out 3 Call of Duties in 1 year, that would count for their contract, but they don't do that. So that's why it's kind of been like a year thing, because people just already assume that Call of Duty is going to be up per year. Open combat missions will feature kill streaks, loadout crates, vehicles to use in-game, and loots, revive kits, field upgrades, and more. So this, again, tells me it's just Warzone, but you play it by yourself, because they got all the kill streaks, the loadout crates, all that stuff in there. So they're probably going to have a buy system or some type of money thing where you go up and you buy kill streaks or you find kill streaks just on the ground. It's just what they've been doing. It's nothing special. Right now they're doing, Call of Duty doing a lot of marketing talk to try to sell you on this, and it's not working. Open combat missions. You can change how you play as you play each mission. You start mission with stealth. Okay, so yeah, that's what they said in the trailer. Just videos of the trailer. Uh, this shot here. Do I still have that YouTube open? I do. This was in the YouTube thing. We'll pull that back up. People are thinking that this could be part of the new Warzone map. They could have people are thinking they could have slipped that in there, which would be cool, but it probably is because they reuse all that stuff anyway. Pull back Twitter up. Lara Croft's coming to do Modern Warfare 2, so if you want to check out Lara Croft, or probably like $30 in Modern Warfare 2, she'll carry over to Modern Warfare 3, so check that out. I know Charlie Intel had a bunch of stuff earlier. Was it today? Oh, Ledge Hang is confirmed to be back in Modern Warfare. It's whatever. Didn't expect it to go away. There was something. Let's see. Matt says my biggest disappointment is the disservice to how big Modern Warfare could have been. However, gameplay wise, I do like the idea of open combat missions. Just not sure how I'd like being in the story. Yeah, that's the thing. Like Call of Duty's like bread and butter, what they do good story wise is linear campaign missions. And to break that and go away from something that you do with like open combat stuff that you've never done right and got to feel good, practically probably because your game wasn't designed for that and your AI's garbage, it just it just doesn't work. Like it could be cool. It could be good. We'll have to wait and see. But it just doesn't work for me. It would be more replayable, but again, I think it's you see once you experience it, like it's like I don't know. I think that the AI just breaks Call of Duty's open world design for me because like it's so boring. It's not a challenge. If it's a challenge, it's just because the AI just shoot you headshots across the map. Like that's why like the AI is so bad it just ruins the design for that. Again, I wasn't the biggest fan of the open world Halo design. A lot of people like that, but revive kits in open combat missions. So you can go down, you pick yourself back up. So again, it makes it a little easier, which is fine for me because I always do the games on veteran. So anything that makes it easier, it's whatever. It's fine. Beta dates got confirmed in an email today. October 5th is PlayStation Early Access, or yeah, Early Access, and then October 6th is PlayStation Open Beta. I think that's how that goes. And then all platforms are the 12th, and then campaign early access is November 2nd. So campaign you get a week early if you pre-order it. What up, Boogeyman? Call of Duty Next is going to have their multiplayer reveal stream on the 5th. And then the next day is going to be PlayStation Early Access, multiplayer beta access, or whatever. I could have swore there was something in here that I saw today. That's he's just talking about the. Oh, Dolphin Dive's coming back? That's cool. Yeah, so I mean, this is earlier leaks and stuff from Call of Duty that health is supposed to be sped up. Hold on, I'm reading your chat here. I liked MS Ground Zero open mission style in the game. It was just a demo. Wish it had MG. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Like, I get what you're saying. Like with the stealth and stuff of the open world, it could be cool. But I just when they do stealth in Call of Duty, I want it to be the perfect example for the way they did the perfect best stealth Call of Duty's ever done for me, in my opinion, is Modern Warfare 2019. It was like the third mission of the game. You storm in a house and you put on your night vision goggles and you slowly walk up the stairs and like you can shoot through the doors if you know where people are, and then it doesn't alert the house, but you can go loud and alert the entire house. Like if you can clear that, like I just want breach and clear style missions like that. That's the best Call of Duty stealth. It's like tactical, everything, but the open world stuff, it just breaks it. What? No, I don't want to go there. Okay. Anyway, back to the other Call of Duty stuff. So they've already confirmed that health is going to be 150 now. So TTK is going to be a little faster. So it may be a little closer to like Black Ops style health. We'll have to see how weapon damage can affect that too. Movement speed is going to be sped up a little bit. So it's going to be a little quicker running around. Slide cancel's coming back. Reload cancel's coming back. So crackhead movement's coming back. So I'm not. We'll have to see. I don't really like crackhead movement in Call of Duty, but it's coming back. So I'm just gonna have to get used to it. I do say the thing is with crackhead movement though, at least people run around, whereas with the current movement, people just kind of stand still. So it's, I guess, pros and cons to both. Let's see. Oh, red dots are coming back to the minimap, which is a good thing. I think. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of casuals don't really look at the minimap too often anyway, but people always complain about red dots not being on the minimap. So red dots are coming back to the minimap for the first time in like 3 years or whatever. Ghost is going to only work now when you're moving, I think they said. So that's a positive because Ghost is kind of like a perk you got to run at least. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do that because Ninja, they also said it's going to be a perk again. Ninja's been gone for a while. For those that don't know, Ninja is about footsteps silence and makes your footsteps quiet so you can run up around on people. That's coming back as a perk. And the new perk system in the game is going to work a little different. Perks are now going to be tied to armor pieces. So, like, let's say for Ninja, since it makes your feet steps quiet, your feet steps, yeah, I said that. Your footsteps quiet. Ninja perk is only going to be equipable on your boots, and like Ghost may only be equipable on your vest. So perks are going to be tied to armor, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing already, but you just pick your perk slot with a nice fancy armor. Is there anything else Call of Duty related that I remember hearing? I'm just scrolling back through old. Oh, David Vonderhaar left. That kind of sucked because a lot of the Treyarch people, like, he's kind of been the face of Treyarch for a long time, at least community wise. That really sucks. Like, for those in the Call of Duty community, he was a legend for sure. Oh, we can talk. That's the other thing we can talk about for Modern Warfare 3 at least. Uh, the only multiplayer maps. While this is a good thing, it's also a bad thing for me. The only multiplayer maps are remakes of Modern Warfare 2, OG Modern Warfare 2 maps. And it's a good thing that I get to relive those maps. They were some pretty good maps. But bad thing is it's all remakes. There's no new content there. So it's kind of like, could you do half and half at least? You know, new maps and old maps. Now the other bad thing about the remakes, Poison just pointed out too. I was going to get to that. Other bad thing about the remakes is they're changing the flow of the maps, and a lot of the remakes that we've had within the past couple years on Modern Warfare 2 in 2019, they've changed the flow of the maps and they don't feel the same and they don't work anymore. I don't think that I I don't know if the Modern Warfare 2 remakes is more evidence that's expansion or originally expansion because people were finding Modern Warfare 2 code in maps in Modern Warfare 2019. They a lot of I think it's I guess that would be expansion DLC or whatever. Yeah, I guess that does point to more DLC because people found they were putting Modern Warfare 2 maps in like bigger maps. How's it going, Froggy Knight? In Modern Warfare 2019, like Scrapyard was a small segment in Ground War, a Ground War map. And then they took Scrapyard out of the Ground War map and just put it in as a 6v6 map. So they've already done all these maps already, like once for MW219, pretty much. And Terminal was in MW2 2019. It was that airport and Warzone. So like all these maps are kind of already done. The problem is when they redo them, they always add. They either add new floors to and new rooms to fucking shit. They add doors, which the door game in Modern Warfare drives me absolutely insane. People that actually know how to use doors, I hate them. They like just flip them on you and then you flip them back, and it's just like when you get to going against someone who knows how to flip doors, it's annoying. But that could just be like an upper level thing that it's a problem for me. But again, they change maps and it changes the flow of the original maps, and I don't like it. And I could never figure out if it's just because they added an additional walkway or added a room, or if it's because movement has changed in Call of Duty. Like obviously Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 2 movement, the new Modern Warfare 2. I hate the fucking Modern Warfare 2 names. You always gotta distinguish between OG and stuff. The new Modern Warfare movement is a lot slower than the original Modern Warfare 2 movement. So like the flow is different and the health is different. So it's like it's hard to point towards those maps. Did not work now because the movement's slower, or is it just because they changed stuff? So it's going to be interesting for sure because Sledgehammer's supposed to be speeding it up again. So maybe the maps work better. And I guess we'll finally figure out if it's the actual redesign of the maps or if it's just the movement that breaks the maps. God damn, I've been rambling for like 45 minutes about shit. I don't think there's much else. If there is, let me know in the comment or the YouTube chat there. Try to think of something else. Keep accidentally switching Twitter over. It's a habit there, and I don't want to leak anything private. Anything on the Call of Duty? Sledgehammer, I have a little confidence in. Okay, that's another thing we can talk about real quick. I'll just leave it on my desktop background there. But yeah, before I get to Poison Maniac's Sledgehammer comment there, Froggy, I have not revisited Battlefield. I've been thinking about it because they did put out like a new season or something like that, and I was looking at that. I just don't think I'll have time for it now. And BattleBit kind of came out and distracted me from my Battlefield. Kind of took my Battlefield mood away with BattleBit. But anyway, going back to Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer's an interesting studio because everyone seems to shit on them. But at the same time, whenever their game wraps up, everyone loves their games. Like, I don't know what it is. Advanced Warfare, everyone hated it. I still actually hate Advanced Warfare, but a lot of people started loving it. Advanced Warfare was shit to me. I hated the jetpacks, especially their kind of jetpacks. Black Ops 3 was the only one to do jetpacks right, in my opinion. But people started really liking Advanced Warfare. It had its community and that really loved Advanced Warfare, and they would say that was like the best Call of Duty. And then they went to World War II Call of Duty, and that one was actually okay at the start. But the thing that turned me off with World War II Call of Duty Sledgehammer wise was the first month the game was out. We were leveling up fine, we were progressing fine, and this comment, it was the head of the studio that came out like a month later and said that we actually had double XP on the whole time, so that's why you were leveling up too fast. So we turned it off. Then like 2 days later, they redid the XP, and they're like, actually, at the launch of the game, there was triple XP on, so you are leveling up way too fast, so we even lowered it more now. It's like bullshit. You just saw that people were leveling up too fast and you want to keep playing. Like, they just kind of rubbed me the wrong way with their dev support for the game. But overall, the game was actually... World War II was okay. And then Vanguard was super rough at launch. But at the end of Vanguard, it's at the end of its life cycle, Vanguard was actually a really good Call of Duty. Like, the problem is with me and the end cycle of Call of Duty is if you don't keep playing Call of Duty, you kind of are jumping in at a rough spot because there's so many new weapons and stuff out. They wanted people to buy those double XP boosts. Yeah, you're in a rough spot with Call of Duty if you jump in later. You don't have all the guns, and the thing that Call of Duty loves to do, they love to add auto shotguns with fire rounds. And if you don't have an auto shotgun with fucking fire rounds, you just get shit on in multiplayer. Like, every Call of Duty ends up adding a shotgun with fire rounds. It's automatic at some point. And I hate shotguns in video games. I just can't stand shotguns in video games. Gears of War has pissed me off. Every time there's a shotgun in a video game, I get pissed off, and I think it's because of Gears of War. Yeah, you shouldn't have to. I understand that. Like, again, that's why there's some hope in Sledgehammer that I have, because maybe they've learned their lesson and fourth time's a charm for them. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see for Modern Warfare 3, but all the things they're saying is the things that the COD community wants to hear. At the same time, the COD community's been burned so many times that I don't know if we can take them for their word, especially with seemingly blatantly lying to us right now with calling it a full game and it being an expansion or whatever. I don't know if we can take the words, because on one hand they're telling us stuff we want to hear, but at the same time they're lying to us, and I don't know where to put that. uh shouldn't have to wait to the... Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with this. Yeah, I've been going for a little over 45 minutes. I appreciate everyone who came out. My throat is so fucking dry right now. I usually never talk for 45 minutes. I usually get like 5 minutes in a podcast and then someone else starts talking, and doing it 45 minutes by yourself. It's a little different. If there's any other things you want to talk about real quick, drop it in there. Yeah, I do have I don't really have a fresh drink next to me right now. I'm trying to think. I think that's all for Call of Duty that we've had in the past few days. We had the reveal, we had the multiplayer stream, or multiplayer like end game event. Trying to go back to Starfield just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did. Um, so that's here you get your thoughts out on a fireside chat style. Is fireside chat style? Is that the was that the like Destiny podcast that IGN had? PS handheld quick thoughts. PS handheld can go fuck itself. That's my quick thoughts on that. It's worth this piece of technology. They're wasting precious minerals that's in the earth that they could be used for something else. So I don't know. That's just. Did you watch any? I did watch some leak footage of Starfield stuff, but I didn't. None of that's influenced my opinion on the game or anything. If you were talking about that, I don't know if you're talking about that. Did you, if you were talking about leaked footage of Call of Duty stuff, I have seen some leaked stuff, Call of Duty. Mostly it's just been, like UI stuff and some weapons. I think I can't show it because I would probably get like copyright claim. But I do have an image saved somewhere of like 15 or 16 of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 weapons. I'll have to find that. The reference fireside chat goes back to presidents in the 1930s. Um, I'm not even 30 years old, and you're talking about the 1930s. So, I was just fucking with you. Uh, I think you're just talking about like long form discussions and stuff. It's whatever. I got you what you're talking about, but yeah, I think that's about it. If I do more Starfield content before the game comes out, I do want to kind of want to maybe break down like some more sciencey shit on it. What that would be, I don't know. I could maybe go into another like star system or something if like because I kind of mapped it out too, but also there was that guy that got the spatial coordinates, and I could pick out some of the more popular systems that are known to like kind of the common astronomy community, I guess. Pick out some more of the famous systems and maybe break down those. Do you think that Destiny and Diablo can fix their problems quick enough to regain players? The thing is with those games, with Destiny and Diablo, they can just put out content and people will buy it. I don't think they really care about fixing their problems or not. If they fix them by happenstance, it happens. If they don't, they don't. People are still going to buy their shit and play their shit. Like they just put out the Diablo 4 had 12 million players and 1 billion hours played or whatever, and people have been bitching about it for a month. What are you most excited about Starfield? I just yeah, the thing with Starfield for me is like I think I'm kind of alone on this. Like I don't even care about the campaign. I don't even care about the story. I don't even care about the characters. I don't even really care about the gameplay. I just want to play the game. And what I mean by that is I just want to get in my spaceship and fly to different planets and talk to people. Cuz like Starfield to me is what I wish the life that we were living in now is. Just flying to planets and doing space shit. Like that's what I wish I was born into. Like like my dream is just to live like a Star Trek lifestyle, like on board a ship, you do your you do your shit, you go to new planets. Like that's my dream, and like I'll never get to experience that in real life, obviously. But if I can get that close in a game, that's as good as it's gonna get. Yeah, and that's part of it. Poison is exploring planets. Like how do I say this? Like coming across the unknown is what excites me. Like, because you never know what's going to be over the next mountain. You never know what's going to be in that cave to your left. And that's the exciting part, is just the mystery of it. Froggy, I'm probably one of the few people as a Star Trek fan that actually like that series. Like, to me, I actually go back and forth with Star Trek Enterprise as if it's my favorite. The only reason I say it's not my favorite is because TNG had more seasons and TNG is still so good. I put Star Trek Enterprise right behind that. The problem with Star Trek Enterprise is it was 4 seasons, and I actually enjoyed the first 2 seasons. A lot of people say the first 2 seasons were bad. I actually enjoyed the first 2 seasons of Star Trek Enterprise. I didn't mind it. I thought a lot of people enjoyed the third season, the Zindi storyline. I don't. This may be too much information, not what you want to hear. The Zindi storyline in Star Trek Enterprise. A lot of people enjoyed that. I kind of was getting tired of the Zindi storyline just because it seemed like it was a rushed focus, in which it was. They've come out and said that they were told to wrap up the show, so they kind of rushed 2 seasons worth of content in one. And it seemed rushed. It felt rushed. So I didn't really care for the Zindi storyline as much as I could have or wanted to. So I don't know. I really enjoy Enterprise, but again, I think TNG is still my favorite because it had more seasons. Yeah, and that's the thing. The one thing of Starfield, kind of to Poison's point that just in the chat there. That's the one thing with Starfield is there's one thing that we've not seen, and I hope that we see this, but they've never shown this yet. Is when you're traveling in space, like if you look out the cockpit window and you just look off to like the right, and you're in just deep space, what do you see? Like, is it just black, or can you see like nebulas in the distance, or stars? Like, what does it look like? What does open space in Starfield look like? That's what I want to know, and they haven't really shown that. Like, can you go up and just park your ship in front of a nebula? I don't know. What does that look like? They haven't shown that. I don't think there will be black holes. I mean, there could be, but I mean, realistically, there could be mini black holes that like there could be like a side quest where like you find a mini black hole or whatever. But the black hole swallowing the galaxy, like I don't know how much you know about space and stuff, but I bet the guys will be loading screens games. Oh yeah. The thing with like black holes swallowing the galaxy, so Starfield is in our galaxy, and in our galaxy, uh we know about black holes, but there's I guess theorized, I don't know. There's a black hole at the center of the galaxy, and it's a supermassive black hole, and it kind of forms like the orbit of every galaxy. At least that's what I think. And then there's like smaller black holes that kind of just roam free, or some of them are stationary, some of them are kind of just flying through space. So we could run into them. I don't know, but I don't think we would. I mean, I think the Starfield stuff, like the distance is only like 100,000 light years, or not 100 light years. I mean, so I don't. I mean, we're exploring like only a small section of the galaxy. Do you prefer bigger black holes or smaller black holes? The thing is, depending on the size of the black hole, like I mean, small one go right through you and kill you in half a second. I actually, kind of talking about the black hole stuff and collapsing and all that stuff. That was, let's see, let me see if I can pull it up. Uh, Open a new Google tab here. YouTube, where's it at? I need to go to my channel here. So I made a Starfield video, and I think it may have been this Starfield video. So yeah, at the end of it here, this is my video that I made. This is about their trailer. Uh, so I pointed out like he goes into this structure here. I think I pointed out here at the end. At the end, yeah, I think it's right here at the end. Let this play on. So to me, this kind of reminded me of like, are they like maybe kind of containing a black hole, or is it a universe or something? And then when he touches it, it explodes there like that. And I'm like, is that a Big Bang? Because it looks like he kind of goes into it and it explodes. So like, I don't know, is that a micro universe in there, or is it another universe, a multiverse in there? But he touches that artifact, at least seemingly in the trailer, and there appears to be a Big Bang. So could just be the way that's edited, but you never know. Shut up, math. Oh, but wait a second. I just had a thought. Where is this? You know what? Hold the damn phone. I am. Hold on. I'm in the middle of a. I'm in the middle of theorizing right now. So if you go back to the beginning of this live stream when I was reading out the Starfield lore, I don't know if you remember this because this was like 45, 50 minutes ago. But there was a guy named like Bartlett or some shit, and he convinced the Constellation to form the deep space scanning system, space station, or whatever, and it was called the Eye. Was the nickname? Does this look like we're looking through an eyeball? Like, are we looking through that? Yeah, Bartlett, whatever his name was. That's not the point. That's not the major point right now, Mef. This looks like we're looking through a fucking eyeball. And what are we looking at? It looks like we're looking at another galaxy. And it looks like there's rings around that. That could just be like the artifact. Is the artifact pointing us to the galaxy in which we came from, or which there's an alien overlord? Oh my goodness. Am I onto it? I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. But is it a teleporting wormhole? Because it looks like there's multiple. Looks like there's depth here. Looks like there's a ring here, and then you go back a little bit, and there's another ring, and it's pointing to a galaxy. We got stargates, baby. We're teleporting across the galaxy to another galaxy. I mean, they could be going the Stargate route here because it kind of looks like it with there already being ancient structures on. Where was that shot at? This. Why is there just an ancient structure on a like a seemingly dead moon? What that indicates is the Stargate show theory, in which there was an ancient alien species that put gates across planets to travel between them. And if this is this could be like a directional, this could be a beacon or like a Stargate enhancer or enhancer thing, or like some kind of energy cell to power the Stargate. Maybe that's what these buildings are, or like a waypoint, or like the actual receiving end of the gateway. I don't know. Because where is it? There was another shot here. So this thing is like spinning around, and it's sucking in this material, and it looks like it's powering up. See, it's like pulling in all the surrounding material, and it forms. It looks like it's forming like a bubble-ish type substance in the rings as it's powering up, and then it quickly cuts to the eyeball, and you're seeing another galaxy. Huh. Hold on, I gotta Google something real quick. I just want to make sure that's not the galaxy I'm thinking of. Andromeda. Hmm. Now, I'm not saying it's the Andromeda galaxy, but it might be the Andromeda galaxy. I don't. Is that on screen? I don't know if that's even on stream right now. I mean, they could be just taking like a shit ton of different sci-fi like concepts and putting them all in one, and I'm okay with that. I mean, it's hard to tell because you have that like fisheye effect, and also you're looking at it from a different angle. Uh, huh. See if I can't like freeze it at a different section, maybe. It kind of also looks like another eyeball looking at us. Like, cause you almost see like a an outer like eyelid shape here too. But then it kind of goes crazy on the sides there, so I don't know. Hmm. It's I mean, it definitely looks like the classic this thing's powering up when this thing's spinning there. Like it's obviously spinning faster and faster and bringing in material. So it looks like it's powering up, but what that does, I don't know. Wow, that went a different direction than I expected the show to go, but it is what it is, I guess. Yes, like I was just that was my video that I broke down like last month or whatever, and I just didn't have my it was coming through my computer, so I just left it muted. Do you think people get out in space in your lifetime in general? Like, I mean, it depends on if you're talking about to Mars and Earth, yes, or not Mars and Earth, Mars and the Moon, yes. uh, I don't. We're not getting out in deep space in my lifetime. I mean, there have to be something super crazy. I mean, best bet for my like in my lifetime is we may get a base around like Europa, and that's fucking highly unlikely. I mean, also at the same time though, it's like it's cheaper to just send robots to do shit instead of people. It's cheaper because weight and you don't have to fucking have food. You don't have to make food. So Starfield based on true events. I mean, nothing that they've said because uh from that hold on, I'll pull it back up. The Starfield website, the timeline starts at the year 2100. So like there's nothing that's really happened yet because it's not 2100. Yeah, asteroid mining could be, but at the same time, like there's other ways to make like we don't even have to go to the asteroids at this point. Like all like we could bring the asteroids to us because we could park a spaceship or a space like craft, a satellite next to an asteroid, and we can make its gravity come towards us, and then we could stop it. We could move the satellite around the other side and stop the asteroid with gravity. We can move asteroids with just small ships. You don't even need. It takes time, but it's you could do it. And back to Psycho's point, like there is some like Earth's like history, Earth history stuff in Starfield. I'll bring back up my because I know it's in my video that I did. I have that trailer in there. Where's it at? Yeah, so like obviously they have the Mars Curiosity rover that's stuck on Mars. If that's just an Easter egg or not, I don't know. But I thought it could be like a quest line you collecting old Earth stuff. This is just kind of going back over my old video. But then they have a NASA museum, and you have the Gemini rocket. You have some kind of space station. This isn't the ISS. I'd look for it unless it's just like a different design or something. You have the moon lander. You have the moon rover right in front of us. You have the old Apollo capsule. You have the old spacesuit. So they have a NASA museum dedicated to old Earth launches. And I thought that it would be cool if maybe there's a quest line in Starfield where you go and collect old NASA stuff. Like maybe you go and return Voyager home or something like that, or you go and get the New Horizon craft, bring that home, bring fuck it. It'd be even funny to go out and get the Tesla car out in space and just park it in a museum in Starfield. I don't know. It'd be cool to do stuff like that. I don't know. Psychos must be on something, right? Man, I went fucking. It would be cool if they could make it. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm like, it's not that big of a deal, Froggy, if it's not in the game, because I know someone will eventually put that stuff in the game. I just think it'd be cool if there was like a whole quest line where you did that stuff. Because there was they've done that in Star Trek a few times, and I actually like those episodes where there was a Voyager episode where they found an old like old spaceship or something, like old NASA spaceship that was like so far out, and they couldn't figure out how it got there, and there was like, oh, it was one of like a Mars. It was like a Mars mission that NASA launched back at like in Star Trek storyline. It was original. It was like a Mars probe or something like that that had people on it, and then it was like in it this anomaly ball, and then they flew like a shuttle in there to retrieve it, and then they got stuck in there. It was a whole episode. Yeah, you can go find the Hubble telescope. Uh, Wait, is that in this shot? Hold on. I mean, that's honestly what the original Star Trek movie is about. They go and Voyager learns so much information or some shit that it becomes like an AI robot that tries to come back home and collect Earth to archive it or some shit like that. I don't even remember, but it's been so long. And then like the Voyager name, the paint got rubbed off, so it was called V'ger. It was so stupid, but that was the original Star Trek movie. There was also one in I believe Enterprise also had one where they found like an like old NASA mission thing or something like that, or did something. And then Next Gen had. This is one of the first Next Gen episodes. So I like the first Next Gen episodes that I remember seeing. It's a trash episode, and a lot of people hate it, and I understand why. But for some reason, I love it. It's the one where they go to the casino and they get stuck in the casino and they have to. It's like based on some shitty book, and they have to like play it throughout the shitty book to leave the casino. But the way that episode opens up is they find like an old piece of NASA ship, and it's like it has the American flag on it. And it's like, oh, what is this? And then they go to the planet where there's like the rest of the ship, and then they find like the dead astronaut there, and it's like in a casino or some shit. It's so stupid, but if it's true, can we land in Uranus? Well, technically, you can't land in Uranus because it's a gas giant, and then if you went down so far, your ship would get crushed and melted because the pressures of the gas and the planet's atmosphere would crush you and burn you up before you could ever land on anything solid down there, Psycho. I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, the holodeck episode that was or not the holodeck, but the I know what you're talking about the one where like the doctor was like the only one that was left on the ship, and there was these like those two aliens species that were like, this was the evil Voyager. They came here and tried to kill us all or whatever. Yeah. My favorite Voyager episode. This has just become fucking Star Trek talk, and I'm okay with it. My favorite Voyager episode is the one where they go to the planet that spins faster than them. So like they park in the atmosphere, and then, like when they first get to the planet, it's like cavemen, and they look up and they're like, "What is that?" And then by the time that they send the doctor down to the planet for like 1 second, but he gets stuck there and they can't teleport him back up, and he ends up being down there for 300 years. And the people have saw the ship Voyager spaceship in the planet's atmosphere for so long that Voyager is like a god to them. And then they go up to Voyager with these two astronauts, and since time moves so slow to them, they like get sick or something, so they have to get sent back down. I don't know. It was a cool episode to like time move faster on the planet because it was rotating so fast or some shit. I don't remember. It was like like 6 episodes or something like that. Holy fuck. Man. Yeah, that's what I miss about like new Star Trek. I really enjoyed Strange New Worlds season 1 because I felt like they were going back to that. Season 2 of Strange New Worlds is complete ass, and I hate it. They went the wrong direction again. But that's what I miss about the old Star Treks is like just exploring fun concepts like that, and we don't get that anymore. Maybe because it's already been done. I don't know, but how hard could it be to be creative? That's not my job. That's the writer's job, and they were doing it back in the day. They were fucking creative, so I don't know why they can't do it now. And that's what I hope we get out of using Isaac Arthur on YouTube. I don't know who that is. That's what I hope we get out of Starfield. I hope that create that just a little bit of that creativity that I love about Star Trek can be put into Starfield. And I'm sure it will. It already seems like it. That's why I hope. I mean, it's a good thing to take stuff from sci-fi that like you like and stuff, but you gotta kind of make it your own. And I feel like they'll do that. I just hope we don't uh it's not as obvious that they took it, or they just have to get their own spin on it. I don't know how I'm trying to say that, but yeah, I'll definitely check that out, Froggy. Seems like he had some cool titles there. I didn't watch any of it. I just kind of pulled it up there to look at the titles, but it seems like it had some cool titles. I'll check it out. Man, okay, I gotta call it. My throat is so fucking dry. I talked for way too long tonight. I was only planning on doing like a 30-minute show, but I went like hour and a half almost or something like that. So I'm gonna call it. Thank you for anyone who stops by after the fact or is in here now. Really appreciate it. Oh, that seems cool, Froggy. Yeah. Anyway, like, subscribe, do all that fun YouTube stuff, and I may. I don't know if I'll do more content like this or not, but it's just definitely fun because I was originally just gonna do a video on Starfield and Call of Duty stuff, and I was like, that's 2 videos. I can just do a live stream. It'll be easier. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I may try to do this more often. We'll see. Again, no guarantees because I'm so inconsistent about content. So I just appreciate it when it comes out when they do. But much love everyone, and we'll catch you next time.